start this recording and we'll see where the fuck we end up. And hopefully the video will look alright, as the lighting's questionable. But, I don't know, we want to kick this off. As I said, I don't know much about you, but welcome, Sam. So for those listening, and hello, those watching, I have with me today Sam Kember, who's a jiu-jitsu buddy of mine who has come from the world of bodybuilding. So I think we have some interesting questions to ask about that kind of world, because I know absolutely nothing about it, and sort of the lead-ups to doing that and the switch over to jiu-jitsu and I suppose your history and all that sort of stuff. So you grew up like locally around here?
Yeah, my mum and dad lived in Darland.
All right,
so I always lived around here. I moved out as soon as I could. Really, my parents split up when I was 18, and that was I'm out then. So they both moved. My dad's still in the family house.
Yeah.
My mum moved out, and then I thought, that's it. That's my opportunity to get out. So I did, and that was I was 18, I think, and then so that's sort of where that started. But I've always been around here, and when I moved, I only moved 200 yards down the road, kind of thing. Just wanted my own place and out of the way. So
so 18, you had your own place and was out of the way. Yeah. Okay, and then just by yourself.
With my missus that I'm with now,
Oh, how old are you now?
28.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
old.
It's 10 years. Huh?
No, I've just aged not very well.
No, I've just got to get these things in there. Sometimes I forget how old I look, and you just go, that was 10 years ago. Oh, I've changed a lot since then. Jesus. Yeah, I'm 38 this year. Huh?
Yeah.
38 with an 11-year-old and a nearly 9-year-old. But everything, like family-wise, was all happy and everything as a kid.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. I couldn't have asked for more, really.
Awesome, and you went had no problems at school, anything like that.
Oh, you had the usual. You had the big kid in the year, always picked on the smaller kids, and I was always a smaller kid in the year. I'm only 5'10" now, but I was around about 4'5" till I was 16. So I just was late. That's what got me into the gym, really. Right. As soon as I could get in a gym, I did, because I was one of the smaller ones. So
then going to the gym for you, started pretty much as soon as you left home?
Yeah, it was literally as soon as I could get in a gym. So at 16, when they'd let me sign up, I was in the gym and wasn't doing things very well. But I was in the gym and training and doing something,
So you was trying to, had a little bit of small man syndrome.
Oh, 100%.
You was trying to overcome. See, I've always been really small too, until I was, I think, maybe 19, and all the food and stuff started catching up with me and it started growing a bit. But I've remained feeling like a small person.
Yeah.
I haven't ever really done anything to counteract it. I've not been into a weightlifting or anything like that. I've always kind of say if I'm strong for the activity I'm doing, that's cool.
Yeah. I think jiu-jitsu shows that anyway, so.
Yeah, midweek shoulders and whatnot. But see, so you at 16, then you're in the gym, you're working out, trying to beat this small man syndrome thing. Yep. Did you find an obsession with looking at yourself and the progression that you were getting?
Not so much then. No, I was training because I wanted to be strong. Right. I didn't care what I looked like. It was more what I was bench pressing, what I was squatting, and that kind of thing. And I realised what I was good at and what I was not so good at, so I'd stay away from the things I wasn't so good at and concentrate more on what I knew I could almost be impressive with.
Right.
So I found out that I was quite a good squatter. I can't deadlift for anything, so I stayed away from deadlifts and I just squatted, and I could squat. I used to squat really heavy, and it was really impressive to watch. I videoed myself and great, but I was eating everything. So I was 17 stone, fat, looked awful in a shirt and whatever, looked absolutely horrendous, but put me in the gym and
some strong legs.
Yeah, some strong legs and it sounds silly, but bicep curls, I was curling whatever someone put in front of me kind of thing, because that's what I was training all the time to be impressive in the gym, not really out of it.
I suppose there's one of the muscles as kids or young men we think are impressive is the bicep. So we work the bicep. Get them guns going, or as Hulk Hogan would be like, these swans.
And it is that everyone goes and trains arms. It's don't train arms, go and train legs. But
this is why you get these guys with super upper bodies and no legs.
No legs, yeah.
It's a strange old thing, but we all get that obsession with something.
Yeah.
I know, not necessarily through I said like strength training, but just like weight loss thing. Constantly looking at it, I've lost a bit more there.
Yeah.
Oh, these fit better now. That little roll's gone, and you do. Well, I've certainly been addicted to that. Like progression, the improvement.
Yeah.
I'm not one to flex in the gym because that's not for me.
No.
Just keep it at home in the mirrors. In the naked strut stuff in front of the mirrors.
When you get out of the shower.
That's the one. You always look good after a shower.
Yeah.
With all the hair's like matted down.
That's it. Yeah. Bit of a shine.
So then, when did you? I'll tell you what. Now, with the eating, then was it like the eating? Did you find like really expensive as well for your age, and you put all your money into that?
Because I was younger, I was eating, and I was very uneducated with food and everything like that. I was just eating whatever anyone put in front of me. So if we had leftover dinner the night before, no matter what it would go to work with me, and that'd be my breakfast. So there was times I was going to work and I was eating lasagna for breakfast, and all the people in the office were going, "Mate, how are you eating that at 7 o'clock in the morning?" I'm like, I just want to get bigger. Like, I'm trying to put on weight here. And then like the sandwich lady would come round, and it'd be like a £5 baguette here and a couple of packets of crisps. And so it wasn't massively expensive because it was shit food.
And a lot of leftovers.
Yeah, it was packets of crisps here and packets of biscuits and cakes and stuff that was just easy to get hold
So
of.
the idea then to eat all this food, where did that come from?
I suppose people like, obviously you see like Eddie Hall and those kinds of guys that I would follow on Instagram or Facebook, and you see them eating 10,000 calories a day and they're really strong, and you think, I can eat 10,000 calories a day and I'll be really strong. And that's sort of where I got really, is that the more I eat, the stronger. And to be fair, that is how I got stronger. The heavier I was and the more I ate, the better I felt in the gym. Wasn't particularly how good I felt outside of the gym, but when I was in the gym, I could put any weight I wanted on the bar, and I can have a go at that today. I wasn't really scared of it, if that makes sense. But when I started dieting, it was the opposite way around. I was putting weight on the bar, going, that might cripple me today.
Okay.
So it might be a mental thing, but where I was eating so many calories, one, I wanted to work hard because I knew how much I'd eaten, and two, I was sort of saying to myself, well, you've eaten all this food, so you've got to make use of it now. Go and squat 200 kilos and see how many you can do, kind of thing.
Did you think, like, again, that's, like you said, it's a lack of education and a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, these guys who are eating that amount of calories a day are training God knows how many, how many hours a day as well. Did you find any other sort of negative health benefits from eating all that food?
I think because I was younger, I got away with it. If I did that now, I'd gain weight like nothing, and I'd feel crap, and I'd be lazy with it, and wouldn't want to get out of bed in the morning, that kind of thing. Whereas back then, I was sort of trying to live life a little bit. Obviously, I had my daughter's 9, and I was 28, so at 19, I had a baby running around the house. So I was trying to sort of get them out of the house, and we were getting out down the park and that kind of thing. So I was trying to be active at the same time, but. I think nowadays, if I was to eat all of that, I would just be lazy with it.
You'd be dead.
Yeah. But so I didn't have any health
issues based around it.
No, I started getting lots of comments about how much weight I'd put on, and I think that was where I sort of drew the line a little bit and said, "Oh, I need to do something about it."
Like it was a negative weight. It was showing us more fat than muscle growth.
100%. Yeah. You wouldn't have known I'd gone to the gym if you looked at me. That kind of thing. Yeah.
You were doing a full-on Eddie Hall, like
100%. Yeah.
Muscle underneath, kind of number. That's one of the things you say about like looking up to all these people on Instagram. You have to remember that you've grown up in the Instagram age.
Yeah.
All of that at 18 didn't exist for me.
No.
Barely had the internet on my phone. I think when I worked abroad, I had what was it called? I want to say like WAP, but it's not wet ass pussy. It's it was WAP. I'm sure it was.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Wireless. Airless.
Yeah, I can't remember the picture of it, but I can't think what it's called.
Yeah, it wasn't wet ass pussy, but it was another version of WAP.
Yeah.
And I had this on my phone working in Spain at one point, and it's the grainiest, slowest thing you ever done in like 2002 or whatever.
Yeah, you can't flick through videos like you do nowadays. So.
No chance of watching any porn on that. I think I might have tried. But yeah, it's that sort of disconnect as well. Like, I suppose you say Eddie Hall will have been famous for the past 10 plus years on social media, so do have that to sort of look up to, and like you say, they do all post about I'm eating this.
Yeah, they don't post the rest of it. They post the interesting things.
Like The Rock as well. I'm eating 10,000 cookies today.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be Black Adam in a minute.
But it doesn't mention he's been in the gym for 3 hours in the morning, then goes for a run and whatever.
And also that he makes millions and millions of pounds and can just stay all day in the gym if
Exactly
he wants.
that,
It's his job.
Eat, sleep, gym.
Has been his job for a long time to be in good shape.
Yeah.
So then obviously you trained for a long time. What kicked off the want or need to learn, like tone it all up to work to bodybuilder?
So the first thing was, it was actually one of my mates, his now ex-girlfriend, sent me a picture saying, "Fuck me, Sam, you look really fat in this picture." Taking the piss. And then that was it for me. I texted my best mate that day saying, right, I screenshotted it so he knew it'd come from. I said, that's it, that's enough now. I'm gonna have to do something about this. So I started just losing a bit of weight just to stop everyone calling me fat, kind of thing. I was always at football, I was always the fat boy. It was always the jokes were always me. So I thought, no, I'll lose a bit of weight, and I sort of got the bug for looking a little bit better than I did. I still wanted to stay strong, so I didn't cut everything out. I just monitored it a little bit more than I did. Did a bit more walking, did a bit more running, actually turned up to football training, that kind of thing, rather than just turn up on a Sunday hungover. By this time I had stopped going out on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night because of having a child, so there was a lot of calories that weren't going in that were before anyway. And it was literally that. I've still got the photo on my phone, I think, of that I got sent of
that inspo. And
I was like, I look back now and go, I cannot believe I let myself get like that. But at the time, I just wanted to be strong, and I was. So for what my levels have been, that was the strongest I've been. So
would it have been any way to maintain that strength and cut the weight down? So
well, when I actually got into bodybuilding, which was only actual bodybuilding, like 3 years ago, I got in with some coaches and that kind of thing so that I could do that. So although I did towards the end of when I went to compete, I did lose some strength because I wasn't eating hardly anything and wasn't sleeping properly and that kind of thing, but I'm sure we'll get to that. But my strength did come down. I just didn't have the energy to push it as hard as I did. But for most of it, I kept my strength pretty damn high, and that's why I was a bit now when I get in the gym, because I'm not training anywhere near like I was, it's a bit demotivating because I get in and put half the weight on the bar and I'm like, wow, that feels heavy. But because it's different style of training now, it's
different goals.
It's changed a bit, but it's possible to keep it, but it takes a lot of work in and outside of the gym to, one, stay injury free, and two, make sure you're eating at the right time and taking the amount of water and utilising caffeine and stuff like that, because it's not just eating food. And I was eating on the way to the gym in the morning when I was really going for it, whereas obviously I was full to the brim when I was squatting, whereas I was eating at dinner and then going to bed, waking up, going to the gym and not having anything in between.
Right.
So it was making sure my body could deal with it more than anything.
Do you find that there's much negativity towards sort of what you were doing whilst you were being sort of overweight and strong, coming from other people other than that picture?
Oh yeah, I think unfortunately we live in a bit of a society where fat is bad and skinny is bad, and you have to be bang in the middle somewhere. And it's a group of lads that play football. If there's a fat guy, you're going to get called fat. That's it. You're fat and slow and whatever. That's just going to be. And you go shoulder to shoulder with someone, and they bounce off somewhere. And it's not because you're strong; it's because you're fat. So it's just that's how it is. It's the same. I'm sure there's people that you look at walking down the road and you go, or you don't look at them and go, oh, you're probably quite strong. You look at them and go, actually, you're probably a bit bigger than you need to be. And it's just unfortunately with social media and everything now, it's what's considered normal and what's maybe not so normal. So it's just like I say, everyone having a bit of banter, but sometimes it goes too far and no one really knows where the line is.
So any of the negativity ever affect you negatively, or you just kind of
not really. I
used it as fuel?
Yeah, pretty much. Not to not to sound too cheesy or anything, but it was. It didn't. I never went home and went, oh God, I can't believe they keep calling me fat. If anything, I played on it and old jokes come out saying if you're not careful, I'll eat you. It's not a problem. But I never had the issue of coming home and sort of sitting in my room thinking, oh God, I really need to do something about this, because it was just that one photo, that one time was like, no, I should probably do something about this now.
I have something very similar. My daughter took a webcam-based photograph for the family when she first got her laptop. And my face in that is so incredibly round. I was like, Jesus Christ, like, that can't be right.
No.
And I think I was probably 98, 99 kilos, which is my limit. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I can't hit 100. I'm not doing it.
No.
And then I see that picture of my face, like, Jesus Christ, I can't be that round. And now it's like, right, okay, let's cut shit out. Let's get back to the gym or whatever.
Yeah.
And I probably wasn't at the gym due to injury or whatever, as per
knees.
currently. There's always something going on. I'm getting old and crunchy and crippled. So I suppose a lot of that with the negative comments and stuff being in that kind of crowd where it is all classed as banter and it's not a solo thing, isn't it? Not so bad. I think some people probably take it a lot worse than others.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But I guess at the same time you also had I'm fat but I'm fucking strong.
Yeah, that was it, yeah. That was almost my... I've got like this on purpose. I've not done it. I've not done it for no reason. I'm not just eating. I'm eating and training. So I suppose that's why it didn't really bother me, because behind it there was half a reason as to why I was.
Yeah, I know I'm this way. I built myself up this way.
If you can come and squat like I can, then there's absolutely
yeah. Squat a bunch of Greg's sausage rolls.
Yeah.
So then, what made you decide to want to compete?
So, I used to train. I'll go back a little way. When I first started work straight out of school, I sat next to a guy who was well into his gym, but on a fitness level. So it was all about how his body looked and how it made him feel, rather than how strong he was in the gym. And I just couldn't get on board with that. I'm thinking, oh no, I need to be strong, Yeah. I remember going to the gym with him for the first time, saying, oh, I can squat this and I can squat that, and he ruined me. And I fell down. There was only like 2 steps leading out of the gym, and we trained legs, and he trained me so hard I fell down the steps into the car park. And he's walking out beside me normally, and I'm like, what's happened here? I thought I trained hard, and no, I didn't train hard. I just trained heavy.
First time on your legs.
Yeah. So he got me into training, and then we had a bit of he's got a big double garage. We got a bit lucky, and a gym in Essex went bust, and I worked for a company where I could borrow the van, so we took a van over, cleared the whole gym out and stuck it in his double garage. So we've got a good old little setup in his double garage.
Yeah.
Sort of 5, 6, 7 years we've been training together, just us two, 3 o'clock in the morning, in his garage, at the end of his garden. Pure, everything's metal, it all clings and clangs and makes stupidly loud noises. So you shouldn't be doing it at 3 o'clock in the morning, but it is what it is. No machines, nothing like that. It was all sort of just almost free weights, and everything was sort of messed around with to make it work. And he said to me one day, I was talking about people on Instagram, and fucking hell, he looks amazing, and this looks good, and he said, I bet you can do that. I was like, what do you mean you bet I can do that? And he's like, no, you can compete, you've not got it in you. I went, and that was it, that was the moment I was like, no, that's it, I'm competing. And I said to him, you pick me a show, and he did. And I said, and I'll make it happen. Yeah. And he found me my coach, and he sort of was my training partner and almost my training coach the whole way through. He helped me perfect what I was doing and make sure I was doing it right. And we'd play around with the setups of different, because we had some wires, so we had to set them up to make sure different variations of things were hitting the right areas, because we weren't in a commercial gym where you can just go and use a machine. Yeah. And he did all of that for me, and because he'd sort of almost bet me, there was no money on it, but he'd bet me that I couldn't do it. It sort of, that was the motivation to say, no, do you know what? I'm going to give it one go. Yeah. And that is only why I've done it once, because it was never in my head to really do it until he said it, and I was like, no, I can make this work.
I'm good enough, I can do that.
Yeah.
But do you reckon he did that because he knew you needed that drive to step it up?
Yeah, I think I always used to say no one trains as hard as we did, and whenever someone would come train with us, I know everyone says it, but they'd come out and go, oh, bloody, that was a really hard session, and one of us would turn up to their gym in the morning and be like, I'm not feeling it today, and they're like, right, more weight's going on the bar today, so you haven't got a choice, you've got to push yourself harder than you did yesterday, kind of thing. And we're both the same with each other, and unfortunately for him, he got injured, so he ended up coming to the gym and doing little bits and pieces, but was literally watching me the whole time, like, right, now I think we should do this and let's do that, and maybe if you set this up slightly different, it'd be better for you. And he was literally like a full-time coach for me in terms of the training side of things. But because he got injured, he then couldn't really help me. But I think he used his want to
see it happen.
I think he wanted to compete. Yeah. he never ate the food like I did to get big and strong, and so he never had the muscle on the frame underneath to then compete properly, and he wasn't prepared. He's 10 years older than me, so he wasn't then prepared to go and put all the weight on. Now he's 10 years older and that kind of thing, so he'd sort of done it the wrong way around for what he wanted, so he then pushed me to compete so he could almost live it with me, if that makes sense. And he did, to be fair to him. Every single waking minute, if I needed to get more steps in, he'd come for a walk with me. If I needed to push myself harder in the gym and I was feeling a bit worse for wear, he would load the bars for me and that kind of thing, so that I didn't have to worry about the aggravation of that.
No, it's cool to have a training partner like that. It's like committed to seeing you develop.
Oh, he was as committed to me getting on stage as I was, and that showed definitely in most of the things he did for me.
How long does the sort of prep take you from going, you know what, I can, to competing?
So I think it was 3 years when we had that conversation, and I said, you know what, I will. And I spent a year finding different coaches that were just in it for the money, unfortunately. So I paid up front for people that then after day one wouldn't reply and would give me stuff that would copy and pasted off the internet and that kind of thing. And I'd sort of almost given up after a year, because everyone that I had 3 or 4 coaches, and all 4 of them give me the same crap. I'm allergic to peanuts. So every diet plan they gave me had nuts in it. And every single time they changed it, the nuts were back in, because they just copied and pasted it and not paid any attention to what was on. And I don't train in the commercial gym, so this is the equipment I've got. This, if you're going to write me a program, this is what you've got to write. First thing that comes up, leg press. Well, I haven't got a leg press. Oh, okay. What about hack squat? No, I haven't got a hack squat. I've sent you a video of what I've got. Like it's not difficult. And I sort of got a bit fed up of that. And then Adam, the guy that trained with me every day, he messaged a guy called Callum, who is like the UK, one of the UK's. Is
that Adam Miller by any chance?
Yeah. Has he written you a question? Has he? Adam Miller. Yeah, he found this coach, Callum Raystrick, who's like the up and coming UK's best coach, and he'd go online. He set up his own firm now and everything. It's absolutely immense. From the first message to the last message was on the ball with absolutely everything. The other guys just wanted my money, and they wanted the money before they would talk to me. He sat me down. We had a Zoom call, because he's up north. We had a Zoom call for an hour of him going through where I want, what I train like, what I eat like now, what I want to do. And I said I wanted to compete, blah 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 blah. And that was when he then come back to me. It was almost like a proposal of, if I'm going to be your coach, this is what you've got to do. It wasn't like you got to pay me £800 now, and it was an online system, so you can cancel it whenever you want. It was just, everything about it was professional. And like I say, every single time I messaged him, every single check-in I gave him, every photo, every video, he'd comment, he'd make sure I knew what he was thinking, and it was just, that's what then made it for me, really. Because I had this guy, Adam, in the gym, who was helping me every step of the way, and I had Callum outside of the gym hammering me on everything, whether it was sleep or food or my sleep, my resting heart rate, everything. He would monitor so that everything was spot on the whole time I was doing it. So I would say 2 years. But the real answer really was 3, and I sort of meddled around for a year, not really knowing what I was doing. Yeah,
so I'm going to say that first year was not much in the way of like improvement or growth. No, trying to find the right coach.
With Adam as well, he knew his stuff, so he educated me along the way. So food choices became easier, and he'd go, "Oh, I found this new jelly that's 80 calories for a massive bowl," and it'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm dieting. That's great. I can have a dessert every night for 80 calories." And that I still eat them now, because it's just an easy, low calorie meals to not go and eat a chocolate cake kind of thing.
Just eat a big bowl of jelly instead. Funnily enough, my mother-in-law gives my kids jelly for breakfast every now and then. What are you doing? They're not strength.
Right.
Yeah, they're not strength training. They're not trying to count the calories or anything.
Oh, that was just to keep me sane. I think I knew I had something sweet coming at the end of the day.
I could imagine at that point, when you're trying to cut that much weight and still maintain everything, that those nice little sweet treats.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, it's really welcome. So then, when you get close to competing, you probably have to tighten up all your foods and things. And did that get kind of boring, painful?
I spent the first 18 months of the 2 years with Callum as a coach were eating everything, and I got up to eating about 7,000 calories a day. I think it was 6,500 calories a day, but I wasn't counting any veg or fruit or anything like that. It was just whole foods you counted, and he gave me a certain amount of grams of protein, carbs, and fat to eat every day, and it didn't matter what I ate. I just had to hit those limits, kind of thing. Come fast forward sort of 2 years, and the day before, or a couple of sort of weeks before the show, I was eating less than 2,000 calories a day. So I wasn't wasting food on a mouthful of chocolate, for argument's sake. I was eating not plain chicken and rice, but seasoned chicken and rice with a little bit of low sugar bolognese sauce on it to make it a bit something. It wasn't boring. It tasted nice. It was just more. There was a limit on what I could eat, because certain things were a waste of calories. Mince, for argument's sake, is higher in fat, so it's just a waste of calories. When I can eat a chicken breast and have more rice, kind of thing. It was that sort of mix, really.
Yeah, I was just wondering, obviously you like hark back to that video that came out on that documentary. It's like, I have a fish.
Yeah, fish and a rice cake. Yeah, it's not quite as bad as that.
I suppose that depends on the level of definition you're going for as well. Like, with the competition, you have different kind of like categories, don't you? Like,
so I was in bodybuilding medium, because I was 5'9" and 3/4 according to their ruler. So I just come under the
according to their ruler,
the tall one. Well, I say I'm 5'10", so
I'm 5'10".
They said I was, when it was in medium, which was fine by me. I thought I was going to be up against smaller guys. Well, I was just wrong. They're just shorter, but they're just twice as wide. Yeah, but there's like classic, there's physique, there's like all different, and they all, like, I had to wear effectively a bodybuilder's thong, whereas you can wear shorts or board shorts. It depends on what category you're in. But everything I had was on show, so I had to everything had to be right. I had to train legs hard. I had to train the back hard. I couldn't. Some of them you can get away with not training legs very hard because most of it's covered up. So I was there for everything to see, kind of thing.
Nice. Yeah, go to the full roll-on tan and stuff.
Oh, God, yeah. 2 coats of tan and then one of the spray and everything.
Bizarre things. It's like when you see them, these guys, even when they do it, but they, for whatever reason, decide to miss the face, and it's like...
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about.
But the whole thing, I understand it, but it's a weird old ritual.
I will say that the morning before the show, when we checked into the hotel, we took photos, and I then went off in the evening and got tan and come back, and I looked completely different.
I'm sure.
Just with one coat on. And then the next morning you go back, day of the show, you get more in the morning, and then just before you're going on, they gloss you up and they fill any bits in that you've rubbed off by an accident. Yeah. The difference from even the first one to the second one, and then the second one to the glossy one, are just immense. I don't know the real science behind it as such. But
no, I assume it's just like highlighting the difference between the shadows and the knot, and the knot. Like, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, I know I've got a picture of, I lost 12.5 kilos for a fight a couple of years ago, and I look like I've kind of got some shape. I've got some muscles. I've got a bit of tone going on. And then we decided, because it's a charity event, I'll wax it all off. And like, you can pay a $5 for a strip, and I'll get waxed. End up like full body, pretty much, legs, arms, chest, armpits. Which is like, do his armpits. Armpit hair's gone. And the photos afterwards, I'm the straightest, flattest, strangely looking thing. It's almost like the body hair gave me muscles.
I know what you mean.
It's so weird to look at. I look like a pigeon.
It's because you can't see it, like you say, you can't see where
the shadows are. Yeah, it was dead weird, but I just looked like a 12-year-old. So that's half the reason why I don't want to get down to that weight again, because I don't train like for muscles.
No,
I don't have any. Like, I've got some arms, and that's about it.
Yeah, you train for your strength in other ways.
I just want to be strong at what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I don't need like a big fat chest for that, or not fat, but a muscular chest. I don't need a 6-pack for it. Obviously, a lot of the highest competitive dudes in the world are.
They want to they're riding the weight levels, though, aren't they, to get right down into the lowest they can get.
But also, again, they're at the top of their game and might be competing for a 10 grand price tag.
Yes.
I'm competing for a 20p medal.
Yeah, exactly that.
It's not necessary.
Which are surprisingly heavy, actually.
Well, well, you got as many as I do. Joking, I suck. I haven't got that. But so, then with the competition, then on the day, how many people were you up against?
It was only 7 of us in our class. So it's sort of obviously there's lots of different classes, lots of different weights, lots of different ages.
Yeah.
There were 7 of us on stage. 5 were invited back to the one. There was another show in about 4 weeks' time where you can go back and do it all again, but with different people from all around the country. All the winners as such of the previous shows. So if you did PCA first timers Scotland, I did the one in Birmingham. The 5 from Scotland would come down, and the 5 from Birmingham would then you'd all be on stage together. So it's like a bigger one. But I came 5th out of the 7, so there wasn't much point in me going in for 4 weeks' time. If it might have been 6 months' time, then I might have stood a chance of improving a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's not much you can do in 4 weeks, so I didn't go back for that. But really, there wasn't much more to it than that. You get on stage for maybe 5 minutes max. You do a little 1 minute routine on your own, which they got my music wrong, which was really annoying. Yeah, so you've spent all this time putting a routine together, which I had another coach for, I had a posing coach for, and then they played the wrong music, so I had to try and make it fit that. But so I was only on stage for about 5 minutes, but I still talk to all other 6 guys on Instagram and everything now, and I follow them all on Instagram, they follow me, and we all talk about everything all the time. It's quite like a bit like the jiu-jitsu guys are. Everyone's all in it together,
talking nonsense together.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a strange old crowd. But that whole thing where you get so deeply involved in that kind of network of things, I suppose the camaraderie kind of has to be there because everyone's trying to support each other.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is there like a lot of negativity between like gyms and other people, and
not so much
street
fights
like, with flick knives?
No, not so much like jiu-jitsu, where some gyms don't want other gyms involved and they want to keep everything under wraps. If you go and train in the gym, normally they're quite happy for you to be training in another gym, especially if you've like these bigger pro bodybuilders. Obviously, they're taking a following to that gym, so you then get
free advertisement.
Exactly that. But there was no animosity on stage or anything like that, or backstage. The animosity for me with bodybuilding was when you're in the gym. People don't want to talk to each other, and sort of you always get the big guy in the corner who's actually the nicest guy in the world, but no one approaches him, and no one. And if he tries to give someone advice, it's sort of seen as, you're condescending because you're the big guy. You think you know everything, so people stay away. And it was quite a lonely. The training is quite lonely if you're in a commercial gym. So the last sort of 2 months of my training, I was training different times and around when I felt good enough to train, because I wasn't eating a lot and I wasn't getting much sleep, and so I wasn't always training at 3 o'clock in the morning. It might be after work, or it might be at midnight if I couldn't sleep, kind of thing. So I was going to commercial gyms and no one wanted to know. It was hood up, headphones on, sort of don't make eye contact with anyone, just keep in your own lane, and everyone was the same. So be fair, people looking across the gym might have thought, what a miserable bastard he is, but because everyone's the same, it's you sort of stay away. So there's no you can't train in this gym, or you can't do that, can't do this, but no one really wants to get involved in what you're doing. So
like jealousy, jealous people staring at your bicep.
I was always the opposite way around. I was if I was in a gym with other people, I was always big baggy hoodie on and wasn't that worried. If I was in a gym on my own, I might have shorts and no shirt on, because you're looking at yourself in the mirror with a pump, and then at that point, that's when you're like, I'm getting somewhere now.
I look damn good. I'm going home to my wife. Let her know what's happening. Look at that chicken. Looking good right now. She don't want me, I want me. So it's all good. Okay, so you get the dark side then of all the weightlifting, bodybuilding, competing stuff. Was there ever any kind of drive or feel the urge and necessity to experiment with supplements?
The first 4 coaches that I sort of dived in between from sort of year 3 to year 2 as such on the countdown were the first thing, do you take any drugs?
Right.
Do you take any drugs? What, to do this, you need to take this much drugs, you need to do this. And it wasn't how hard you could train, what you could eat, it was how many drugs will you take, what can you afford, that kind of thing. And it was a bit much. With Callum, who is a proper coach, it was, do you need to do this? No, not particularly. Do you need to do that? It would help. Do you, when you get nearer the end and you're trying to lose that last little bit of fat, if you use this, it might help. And the night before a show, if you take some this tablet that helps you like shred all the water out. You'll look drier in the morning, and you'll feel like shit, but you'll look better.
Good.
That kind of thing. So, yes, is the answer. There's loads of it in bodybuilding for sure, and there was people that, not that I competed against, but were in the same show that I know were taking way too much, and I'm saying to them, please tell me you're getting your blood work done. No, I've never had my blood work done. I think you could be causing yourself all sorts of issues, and I know nothing really about blood work, but you just think there's a reason people, the pro bodybuilders, get their blood work done all the time, because they're taking so much that as soon as there's an issue they can pull back. But there's unfortunately people look at it now and say the only way to get big is to just take gear. And I'm not being funny, it's not difficult to get hold of, the same as anything nowadays. You can get hold of anything if you really want it. But there are people around that are absolute freaks that just prove that you don't need anything other than good food, sleep and training to get really like some mental physique. So it is unfortunately it's always the thing on Instagram again where you see someone bigger than you in the gym and you go, they've got to be on gear, got to be on it, they've got to be, when actually there's a lot of people out there that have just got it right and can really make some gains without having to do anything like that.
Do they have a category in excuse me? They have a category then in the bodybuilding thing for natural and proven natural?
Yes. Yeah. I did PCA, which is an untested show, but there are shows that are tested now. I don't know what the testing process is, whether it's actual drug test or whether or what, because I wouldn't have thought it is a drug test, because you can get drugs out your system within a certain amount of time, I would have thought, but I'd have thought there's other ways of doing it, to be honest with you. But
it seems in multiple sports as someone's always fiddling something somehow. There's some way to work around something.
You've only got to look at some of the really high quality cyclists and things like that have all been done, and you just think, like, how on earth were you racing a day after doing all of that? But there's ways and means of doing everything. If you want to win, people are willing to do everything, aren't they? So
it seems like, at some point, whether or not it would just go, right, you can do this, but we all go all natural. But I know that's not the world of the bodybuilder. The world bodybuilder,
they want the freaks.
Let's get freakish.
There is, unfortunately, this year, or the last 2 years, have been lots of young bodybuilders dying. Obviously, from there's nothing to prove that it's steroid abuse, but they're all dying in the same way, and there's lots to talk about it. And I follow a guy on Instagram, trained by JP. It's a guy called Jordan Peters, very, very, very intelligent. Has made the mistake of taking lots and lots of gear, and he will tell you that. And there's lots of videos on his website and stuff of what to and what not to do and what he would have done differently. And as soon as all these videos and stuff keep coming out and posts come out of people dying and this is what's happened, he straight away was like, right, I've pulled back on this. I'm going to get myself smaller and fitter, and I want to live till I'm 80. I don't want to be dying at 50 kind of thing. And if people like that are starting to realise, and like he's very intelligent, he's got PhD and all in the field kind of thing, so he knows what he's talking about. He's not just following another person on Instagram, but he's definitely one to check out if anyone's interested in that side of things, because he knows his shit. He knows his shit.
I suppose that's again the whole thing with social media. The people like all the women saying that certain figures are unattainable and they've got all this thing to live up to. Obviously, men have the same kind of thing. We've grown up with He-Man. Thundercats.
Even Dragon Ball Z for
Dragon Ball Z. You go chuck yourself in a room for a couple of days and you come out muscly as God knows what, and now you can fly. But so we've had the same thing to look up to. So with like social media, then you find that there is like a big urge or a sort of want for like youngsters to be drawn into possibly taking all these supplements that they don't need just for regular life.
The thing that annoys me more, I don't mind if people talk about it. That's what people do with their own bodies is up to them. What annoys me more is when they say they're not, and this is how they train and everything, and what they've actually got is quite unobtainable for the normal person if you were to follow what they've said they've done. So let's take Rock for example. He's always sort of said, "Oh, I've never taken any gear, never taken any gear." He's 6'6" and built like a absolute brick shit house, and he's like that all year round. There's no bulking and leaning out phase. It's just that's it. He's just hench the whole year round, and he is big. So whether if he's naturally blessed, then great, that's fine. But there's lots and lots and lots of people out there that will say I'm not on gear, they are on gear, and then they're selling clothes and stuff. So you need to buy clothes like this because they're good for muscular men. But actually, you're not going to look like that because
you're not that muscular.
No, yeah.
Yeah, the whole influencer thing is a bit of a
if people want to take drugs of any description, if they talk about it, then absolutely fine. It's when you sort of say, "Oh, you can look like me if you want to," but don't give you the sort of almost the recipe to get there.
Yeah. You can look like this if you just buy brand clothes. I don't want to name any
it's
brands.
Like creams that you can rub on and they make you lean and stuff like that. That's not how they got lean. It's diet and exercise.
I got some lean cream.
Yeah.
This will get you lean. Right. This is a bit of Vaseline here and there.
Yeah.
That'll sort you right out. So then after you've done then, so you've gone and competed once.
Yep.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed the all the way up to about 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
My missus will probably tell you it was more like 2 months before, but I still felt like I was enjoying myself until 2 weeks before. It felt at quite a bad time for me in terms of just social life because it was my birthday on the 20th of August and I competed on the 26th of September. So a month before it was my birthday and everyone wants to go out, and we did. We went to the Bell. We had something to eat and I didn't. I sat there and watched everyone eat at my birthday meal because I couldn't have something from the pub, obviously. Yeah. So I sat there with a Diet Coke whilst everyone else was eating, and people started getting the ump with things like that because I wanted to make the effort to go out, but I can't eat a burger and chips for a whole day's calories. It just can't happen. So, and it happened quite a few times. And then the week before my show was my daughter's birthday.
Right.
So we were like, she wanted to go to Chesington, so we went to Chesington. I'm walking around on like 1,800 calories, absolutely knackered.
Yeah.
I had to find a gym in Chesington close to where we were so I could get up and go to the gym early in the morning and come back and all that sort of stuff. It was just aggravation. And I was walking around there eating hot dog and chips, and I've got a Tesco salad bowl with some salmon in the top because that's trying to fit in my calories, and just pure. It was just aggravation because of self-inflicted, because I wanted to try and keep life as normal as I could for my family as such.
Yeah.
And my friends. So I met friends at the pub a few times, and I was just sat there with a Diet Coke, and they're all getting pissed up with pizzas and burgers and whatever. But
we had that once with. I decided, I can't even remember why, but I decided I was going to go a year without alcohol.
Yep.
And we went. I think my now brother-in-law's stag, and he went, "Yeah, just have one beer, just have this." And just like, no, so I'm good with my water. I'm good with my water. Thank you very much. And at one point, I think I went to the toilet and I come back and they'd switched out my water for a beer. And it's like, good one. The only time I felt the kind of urge to have a little something was when they come and did a round of shots.
Yeah.
And I was like, a round of shots is like a celebration. Like, cool, congratulations, bing, bang, bong. That's done. But I didn't. I was like, I'm holding true. I'm staying. I'm doing this whole year. And I can't even remember why it kicked off. I drank a lot, obviously, when I was sort of 18, 19, working abroad, because that's just the way
that's what every 18, 19 does,
holiday rep, free booze everywhere, and go and get wankered every night. Why the fuck not? You're 18 and young and dumb, and all the calories haven't caught up yet. You're still tiny. But so I did that whole year, no alcohol. I managed it, thankfully, and still
good enough for that.
Yeah,
I don't drink a lot now. Like, that's a real one-off for me to have a beer.
I don't drink often.
No.
I like a rum every now and then.
Yeah.
I get I'll get a beer in the fridge every now and then, but I don't go to the pub. I haven't been to a pub like for a
session.
For years. And we went to the pub last Friday night because it was somebody's anniversary. Bruce had a couple there, but that's about it,
isn't it? Yeah.
So you kind of enjoyed parts of competing anyway, and getting up there. The
day itself was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It wasn't as organised as what I now know as a jiu-jitsu competition. The jiu-jitsu competition, everything was spot on. I know times got changed a little bit, but you knew roughly when you was on. Whereas with bodybuilding, it was like, right, you've got to check in at 10 o'clock. There was no weight limit or anything, so I didn't have to weigh in or anything like that. It was go and sit in this dark and dingy room with every other competitor going until your name's called.
Right.
And I got in at 10 and my name was called at like 2:15.
Right, okay.
And I was just sat there on my own, headphones in, literally thong on, tracksuit over the top, hood up. I'm going to stay here on my own. I'm allergic to peanuts, and there's people eating peanut butter all around me because that's just what bodybuilders eat, kind of thing. Peanut butter is good for your fats, so they're eating that all around. I'm thinking, fucking hell, we're all sitting in here, and then my name's called, and get on stage, they play the wrong music for me. It's all, but the whole day as a whole, if you can get there and you've got the willpower to get there, it is amazing. I couldn't recommend it more for the actual day itself.
So what music did you have? Was it something recognisable that you were supposed to have?
Yes, it was meant to be a Muse song, Butterflies and Hurricanes. It was meant to be the last minute because it starts off quiet, gets a bit Larry, and then dies off again. So it was perfect for like a routine. Yeah. And they played a bit of Wake Me Up. Luckily, I knew the song, so I knew exactly where it started. And I was like, right, how am I going to fit what I know of my routine into this music? And it was... I gave the music to the coach and said, right, can you do me a sequence for this? And he did it for the music, so it then didn't really fit anything else. So I had to, on stage, I'm shitting myself as it is, and I had to try and like modify
Make it up on the spot.
Yeah, but the videos look all right, and I don't know how important it is to your final score really, because a lot of it is you're posing with everyone else on stage next to you. So whether or not that hindered me or helped me, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
So is your daughter proud of that you did?
I think so. I think obviously she saw a lot of me coming home being absolutely knackered from work and just wanting to go to bed and just wanting to be left alone, kind of when it was leading up to it. But she does bring it up quite often, and I think she likes the fact that I go to the gym and keep myself fit, and I'm busy with that kind of thing all the time, more than the actual competitions themselves. I think I try and get her into everything, but she doesn't clicked with her that she wants to do something competitive yet. So I think she likes the idea of, when I say I've booked another jiu-jitsu competition, she's like, all right, when's that, where is it, what have you got to do, what does that mean? And she's really interested in it, but because she doesn't really understand it. Like, bodybuilding is quite complex. You've got to spend 2 years getting into a certain shape to go and stand on a stage in front of random people. Like, explain that to a 9-year-old. Like,
what are you doing? I'm just building up this little booby muscle.
It doesn't, to a 9-year-old girl, they can't see why that isn't even a thing. But
but you went and did it. You know,
And
I think, very, very much for me, life is about experiences, and it's something you've gone and done. It's been hard work, and you went and you did it. Do you think that is the end of that chapter? You don't have time for it, like?
As much as I enjoyed it, it was quite harsh on family life for a long period of time. Even to the point when I was eating loads of food, it was getting to 9 o'clock at night. Mrs. is going, I'm going to bed now, because we both get up early for work and the gym or whatever. And I'm going, I've still got to eat 1,000 calories. So I'm sitting there with this massive bowl of cereal, trying to just get something down me before bed. And it was all just too much when I work sort of a 12-hour day anyway. Like, I'm out of the house from 6 till 6 every day for work, or Monday to Friday for work. So Monday to Friday there was no time for me to do anything, and then Saturday and Sunday were me prepping for the week to come. So it was quite harsh on family life all round, really.
So it's not something that's like aching at you to go and do again. No. Put it this way: the minute I finished the jiu-jitsu competition last Sunday, I was like, right, where's the next one? Okay, sure. Okay, so then let's go then. So when was it you competed?
26th of September.
Last year?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, so that was like really, really recently. And what made you then find jiu-jitsu?
Well, it's almost fate, but I said to my daughter, I'm going to get you into something, and I think, as a girl growing up in Medway in today's society, I think it should be kickboxing.
What are you saying about Medway?
I've grown up in Medway as well, so... But it's something I wish I'd done when I was younger. I wish I knew how to look after myself a little bit, and being a girl as well, you're a little bit more vulnerable, so it'd be nice if she knew, if someone was going to pick on her, I knew at least she could make herself known. We turned up. It's kickboxing on a Sunday. It's just after jiu-jitsu. I walk in and Big Dave is rolling around on the floor, and his son is in Isla's class at school, so I knew him already, and I was like, what are you doing here? And he's like, this jiu-jitsu is it was his first session. And I was like, you know what, that looks like a bit of me rolling around the floor. No one's punched me in the face, because I work in an office where I see customers and stuff, so I can't really have black eyes all the time. Or this is what I'm thinking, and I've been rolling around on the floor. I'm strong, I'm big, I'll have a bit of go at that. And then so the Saturday came, and I turned up to the Saturday, and Dave kicked my ass. as did everyone else. And that's sort of when I realised that I need to maybe not lose a little bit of weight, but not panic so much on how strong I am and slow down a little bit. And that's sort of where I started.
Okay,
but it was just a turn. I don't think if Dave hadn't have been there, I might not have come because I didn't have anyone to come with. But because I sort of, Dave, you're going Saturday? Yeah, I'll be there Saturday. Right, I'm going to meet you there and I'll see what it's like. And
nice.
So it was just,
Tell you, one of the most daunting things is going into a martial arts like combat sports gym where people are, you see it on the TV. I remember when I first started doing MMA years ago. I've watched all this UFC. I'll go and do that for a laugh. When I stood in the corridor of what was Strood Leisure Centre, and all these I apologise if I know any of you happen to listen to this, but whatever. In a corridor full of meatheads, thinking, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I'm this puny, pathetic person, and there's all these muscular, mad motherfuckers here who are about to go in this room and punch the living shit out of each other. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But it was actually some of the nicest people I've ever had the sort of pleasure of doing like a class with. Yeah. And ended up getting into MMA for a few years, and as much as, again, they were a room full of potentially hyper-violent people. Yeah. All very skilled in multiple arts, but some really, really cool, really, really nice people. Once you get to know them, once you show them that you're there to stay, and you've got a little bit of comeback to you. They were all really cool. I could imagine if turning up to jiu-jitsu first time, as much as it's not like you say punching and kicking people in the face. No. It's walking in and going, right, I'll just roll around with this room of weirdos. I? Just get huggy. So you come along with Dave, and
I knew nothing of jiu-jitsu, nothing at all.
You never seen it?
No, I'd seen UFC. Yeah, that's about it. I've not seen anything. Never watched a video online. Was not bothered, phased, nothing. And to be fair, I'm really still not the kind of person that will sit down and watch the UFC because I know what moves they're going to do, and I can see it. I've never been that person. Even with football, I've never been a football watcher or anything like that. So I'd rather do it than watch it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I just didn't know what to expect at all. And walking in and I'm thinking, I know Dave, and he's fucking much bigger than me. And who else? Oh, look, there's a little guy over there. His name's Will, and he's just wrapped his legs around my head and squashed me. Right, great. Yeah, he's only half my size, and he still beat me up. So it was really it was daunting for the first time, and then the second time I was like, I've got to prove myself now. I've got to go and beat Dave up, and then I've got to go and beat that Will up, and then and obviously you get people like the purples and the brown belts and the older guys that will sit down with you and say, right, don't worry about what coach is doing today. That's a bit too advanced. Let's just do get me in guard and get in mount kind of thing, and that's where it's a different vibe to bodybuilding gym. I can appreciate it's slightly different.
So from September, what date was it you say you come into jiu-jitsu?
Halfway through October, probably. Yeah. It wasn't much time in between because I did my bodybuilding competition, which was a Sunday, and my coach said to me, right, take a couple of weeks off, just chill out, eat some food, don't eat too much, but just eat some food, and I ate everything, and I made myself quite ill. I was holding on to loads of water, so when you get I had socks on, but my legs above my socks were much fatter than my really weird, really uncomfortable feeling, and it was So I, because I'd eaten so much food, my body just didn't know what to do with all the excess food and calories that it was getting now that it hasn't had for so long. And then they sort of called it a day with bodybuilding. I was still going to the gym quite often, even when I started jiu-jitsu. I was still gymming every day. Right. And then I realised that can't happen. I'm going to be injured, or I'm too tired when I turn up to jiu-jitsu and all that sort of stuff. So I had to pull back on the training, the muscle training as such, and just concentrate a bit more on the rolling around on the floor and cuddling everyone.
It's a strange thing, certainly, to view from the window. It must run the world of people in Chatham. I think we're just rolling around.
Yeah, it's not a great place for that, actually.
In our pyjamas, the windows wide open. So come and have a look at these guys. But you're enjoying yourself anyway.
Oh yeah, love it.
Do you feel? Was there ever any days where you went home completely sort of defeated
from jiu-jitsu?
Just the feeling of defeated, not having been defeated, but just like.
More so now than when I started, actually.
Okay.
The last few weeks have actually been pretty good for me with the competition and everything. But And tapping wit out. I'm just going to put that on there. 'Cause, he's been asking for that for a while.
Yeah, he's just asked me to let me know when this is out as well. So wit, keep your ears open. He's still talking about it.
But it's been days where I've gone home and my missus has said, "Oh, how was it today?" And I've gone, absolutely rubbish.
Yeah.
I got tapped by everyone. I didn't even know what I was doing. I couldn't get the drill. I then rolled. I couldn't get anything there even. It was just like, what have I done wrong today? And then the next session you go in and you absolutely beast it, and it's sort of like... But then even when you're bodybuilding, you have off days and you put the weight on the bar and you go, what? Oh, there's no way I did this last time, but I must have written it down wrong. But it's just the way you feel. I might not have slept well or whatever.
No,
so, yeah.
It is good. And there's definitely days where nothing seems to click, nothing seems to work. Whoever you used to rolling with somehow is on fire this week. And, you know, and you just go, I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, what just happened? I just got absolutely steamrolled today and just couldn't combine brain and body. And
and I think sometimes you get the... Like most of the time, let's take Bruce for an example, but he will play to your strengths almost. He'll let you move into the positions that you know you can get into to let you practice as well.
Yeah.
And then you'll do something that will not worry him, but you've done something that he wasn't expecting, and then he'll just tap you out.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's quite frustrating when it's 5 or 6 times in a 5-minute round because you're trying to move and he's like, no, I'm not going to let you do that on me. And then he'll take your arm or something. And I know they're teaching you, and it shouldn't be frustrating because you just don't want to get beat. And it's like you think that getting beat is a bad thing, but actually, with people like Bruce, it means you've actually done something good for them to have to
wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of, I suppose, get to that point where you say you kind of do let you play a bit, but at the same, we still have that tiny thing. We don't really want to get tapped. As much as we say it a lot, it's like it doesn't matter if we do or not. Like if you tap us, cool. You know, well done. Especially if we've then noticed you're trying to do something and trying to avoid it.
Yeah.
And you still manage it, then that's fucking cool. You know? And that just highlights your progression.
Yeah.
You know, which is good. So you sticking out. You and Dave have both been coming along and been smashing it out. So Dave's looking really good. He's lost a lot of weight. And,
and he's now trying to lose more to get in the lower category, for a competition.
Yeah. No, I'm still trying to get to that lower category. So haven't had the real reason to, other than being injured, and I can't really train properly in a minute, which is a bitch. But you know, I've just given myself cramp just sitting in this chair. What's going on? Cramp right in my thigh. So what instigated you guys deciding to compete?
I think it was everyone else wanting to. So you saw like Tubbsy got a blue belt straight away. It was like, right, when's the competition? I want to get in, I want to see what a blue belt was like. And I think people like him are just amazing. Like, anything can happen in life, and he's still got a smile on his face. And I think him pushing and Sam, you're good enough. Just get in there. The first one's the hardest one. Get in there. And the same with Dave. And then Dave signs up, and I think, I joined at the same time as Dave. Maybe I should be getting involved too. And I think it was a little bit of peer pressure, but for the right reasons. It wasn't pushing us in too early. It was pushing us in because the first one is the most daunting. I turned up to that room in Brighton not having any idea what was going to happen, and then you get on a mat with someone you've never met before and a referee you've never seen before, and they sort of let you loose, and it's like, what's going to happen here? And it's just a completely different feeling when someone's trying to rip your head off that you don't know. It's different when you're trying to rip my head off, because as much as you want to beat me, you don't particularly want to injure me, whereas they don't care if they injure me or not. So
no, there's that sort of dark side of the hobby level competing at the hobbyist level. Is some people are really fucking vicious, and there's always like no need for it, but at the same time, if you're not quite so vicious, they might escape, and then you don't win.
So there's a fine line. Like the guy that armbarred me, it hurt, but I think he could have hurt me if he wanted to, but he didn't. He put it on enough for it to hurt enough for me to want to get out of there, but he didn't. He could. I think my elbow was in a really bad place. He could have really snapped it on, but he didn't. And the same when I think Dave feels the same as me. You're sort of choking someone. You think, please tap, because I don't want to hurt you. please just tap a little bit. So it's a bit of a different mindset, really, when you know that someone does want to does want to have you a little bit. Yeah,
it definitely feels different when you're rolling with them. Let's say, everybody in the room, you kind of get used to their movements and you get used to the way they feel.
Yeah.
And it's some of the certain tricks they want to use, you can get used to them. And then, say you're going against someone who's completely different, who you've never seen, never met, never watched a clip of their shit.
No, that's it.
How did you feel, like in the room when you first go and like weigh in and when you're waiting around? Did you find yourself like kind of eyeballing people up, trying to figure out
who was in my
your weight?
category? Yeah. And I was so wrong.
I
was so wrong. And I stood next to the people that I competed with, and I didn't clock them being my weight because we were such different bodies, sizes, and shapes and such. Like, there was quite a skinny but really tall guy from London Grapple, and you're like, he can't be my weight. He's massive, well tall, but because he was so skinny, it obviously levels itself out. And I was 98.9, so there wasn't much heavier you could have been than me. So, but again, I think it's a bit of body dysmorphia as well. I have no idea how big small I look next to other people. So
I had the same thing. Going in, just like eyeballing everyone.
Is he in my class? Is he
you? And every now and then I can pick it out because I feel I'm an obscure weight for my size. But again, that could be the whole body dysmorphia thing, thinking I'm smaller than I am.
Yeah,
I'm not exactly big. Again, I'm like 5'9".
Yeah, but you're not small.
If I've been stretched.
Yeah.
But I'm relatively broad. But even again, if I'm waxed, I look like a page boy. Don't look right at all. But yeah, looking around the room, you go, that motherfucker's big. Yeah, and then you end up facing him like, oh shit.
Yeah, but you weigh more than him probably. Yeah,
these heavyweight motherfuckers, they're all like 6 foot plus, muscular, and now I say at blue belt, I've been at it a few years, know what the fuck they're doing as well.
Yeah, exactly like, that. Yeah.
But there was this one of the last competitions. No, my first blue belt competition actually. There's this muscular looking bald geezer over there. I'm like,
was he the wrestler man?
No, he was. No, the wrestler man was the last competition. That was Grappling Industries. He was short and.
Oh, okay.
Short and I don't want to say short and fat because again he might listen, probably won't. But his name is Ben. Anyway, he's a 20-year veteran wrestler.
Yeah,
he's their wrestling coach. He was also being guided by Daniel Strauss of all people as well. So yeah, he had a bit of an advantage in that. Match, but no, this big muscular bald geezer, he had this rash guard on with a big skull on it and stuff, and I was like, I know it's going to be him. It's going to be this giant tank of a bloke.
Yeah,
and obviously it turned out it was, but he was actually really nice. He's like, you nearly tapped me out in the first 10 seconds. I thought, first competition after 3 years, and you're gone in 10 seconds. I was like, he said, did my rash guard did that intimidate you? I was like, no, it was your fucking size. He was this big bald bastard looking at me like, fuck, he looks like he wants to eat me. I didn't give a shit about your rash guard, mate. But he was really nice. I ended up sitting chatting with him, meeting some Akai, Isai, whatever the fuck you want to pronounce it. Just having a chat.
Sorbet, isn't it?
Yeah. Just having a chat together, and he was really nice. And that's the other thing I find with the jiu-jitsu competitions is most people are just so friendly and all just chilling out and having a good laugh. And you pick each other up and like, yo, that was really good. Thanks for choking me out, mate.
Exactly.
As Tubbsy, cheers, mate. Bleeding everywhere.
Proper out. Yeah, blood everywhere.
I was asleep, mate. Cheers, buddy. It's just what I wanted. So you're going to keep it up. You're going to keep training. You're going to keep working towards the next competition.
Yeah.
Have you booked one yet?
August 28th.
August.
Yeah. I'm going to do no-gi as well this time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't because it was my first one. I didn't know what to expect. I thought I'd just concentrate on gi. But I kind of afterwards wished I'd done a bit of no-gi as well because I was knackered after the three, obviously. But I think after 20 or 30 minutes after I'd had something to eat and had a proper drink of water, and I was all right. I could have gone again. I might have regretted that 5 minutes later, but. I think it would have been a good thing to do, so I'm going to do the whole lot this time. Especially being London, it's not too far from home either, whereas Brighton might get stuck in traffic on the way home on a Sunday night, and it's a bit...
It'd be a bit of both. London's...
Yeah, bank holiday though, so it's not so bad.
Do you have any other sort of goals into things that you want to achieve, like outside of jiu-jitsu and work, or you just... want to raise your kids and
be normal stuff, but
be an inspiration.
My other goals really are work related rather than fitness related. Yeah, so obviously I'm only 28. I've been in the same industry for 10 years, so I just want to sort of make a name for myself there. Really.
What does he do?
Sell timber and plywood. So it's a bit
Sells
desk
wood.
related. Yeah, I'm a
Sells wood.
salesman.
He's a wood salesman.
Yes, it's not. There's nothing glamorous or anything.
Do you wear like the proper
Lumberjack shirt?
Lumberjack shirt.
Yeah.
You walk around
Jeans
with an
and
axe
boots,
just because. Cigar and a hard hat. Everybody just plough off me. I don't know why you talk like that, but
everything else I do really is family related, work related, or I normally have one hobby, and jiu-jitsu is that.
So you're the wood sales, is that like wholesale thing, like a salesman in a suit kind of thing, where you geezer at the depot?
No, we're to other merchants, so I am in shirt and trousers and don't really get my hands dirty, but I have to every now and again, kind of
when
thing.
you have to display your wood.
Yeah, you can put it like that. Yeah,
This one's got some good girth.
but it's not. Yeah, it's
veiny.
It's not suit tie.
No.
Every now and again, I go to. You might have seen my Instagram. Every now and again, I'll go to a do up in London, and it's all suits and ties and speeches and shit. But really, it's just a jolly up with beer and wine on the table. So,
Like work wise, is there any other industry you would have wanted to be in? You're happy doing. You enjoy.
I actually wanted to go to. I did want to go to university to
Yeah.
do sports science and something, whether it be nutrition or whatever. But I sort of gave up with school in A levels, and I did get my A levels, but I didn't get to. I could have gone to Canterbury, but I didn't want to go to Canterbury. I wanted to go to Brunel or Loughborough, and I didn't get the grades to go to either of those. So my dad's in the timber industry, so he sort of said, "Oh, there's a job going there," and
funny that.
away
That's
we
how
go.
I've ended up doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's so isn't it?
Bastard dads. What was your dream job as a kid then?
Oh, as a kid, I wanted to be a marine biologist.
Okay.
I don't know why. I like animals, but I don't love animals, kind of thing. But it just seemed interesting to me at the time. But again, nowhere near smart enough.
When did nowhere near smart? Yeah, but you can work at it. I'm sure there's some.
But that was
probably some really dumb marine biologists.
Yeah, probably. But I had to have good grades in biology and obviously and stuff like that, and I just hadn't.
So it still was there as a dream at A level kind of.
I just hadn't worked hard enough to do it really, and I knew that going into A levels that I wasn't gonna work hard enough to do it. Although I was relatively good at school, I wasn't A-star student ever. I got 1A at GCSE in it, and even my teacher comes to me and said, "I think they've marked the wrong paper," and I think, "Yeah, me too," because I was never due an A in that. But it was just I do better in a test than I do in a coursework kind of situation.
Yeah. No,
so
I appreciate that. So it's fuck the animals. Let's go sell some wood.
Yeah, pretty much.
You fell into it because of
my dad. Yeah. Well, now I've got my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law, my cousin and me all in the same industry. So we talk all day, every day about work. Yeah, just because we're all linked in that way. So we don't really have any other conversations because it's all we talk to each other all day, and as it is, it's...
This is a difficult thing, like I said, with when you've got a group of friends who all watch the same TV program, which is I'm a bit of a stickler for not watching new, current, popular programs.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in a room with the people with the only thing you can talk about. Is this TV program that everyone's watching in a minute? It's like, I couldn't think of anything worse. Oh, did you see Game of Thrones this week? No. That's that conversation dead. Let's talk about something else. Same like I don't really watch any sport. Say with the UFC, I don't really watch it unless there's a specific fight I want to see.
No, mine was McGregor. If it was McGregor, I'd watch it. If it wasn't that bothered. Yeah, and it wasn't even for his fight. It was for all the shit talk and all the fun that came with it.
Yeah, see, now I think that I wouldn't be that fussed about watching Conor McGregor and I couldn't give a shit.
I've saw something today about he's taken another boxing fight with Mayweather, hasn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
I saw something earlier, and that was what I got reading between the lines. So
more money, why not? No,
exactly.
I think there's more power to him. He's done some incredible things, like financially and with his championships and stuff like that. But I'm just not.
No, that's what got me into the whole UFC thing. Wasn't interesting until I saw him, and I was like, "Oh, I like you. you make me laugh." So
it's one of the things that I watched his documentary that came out a few years ago, and it was funny because I think my wife was giving him shit at the time because obviously the only person you see of him in the media is this brash fucking idiot who's talking a load of bollocks. I was like, you got to see him for who he is. It's all character to sell, and in the documentary, he did. It really showed the opposite side to him, like how much respect he had for people and how humble he was and all of that. But it seems that he, suddenly got 100 million quid and was like, no, I'm really going to be a dickhead.
Yeah. But then that got him the next 100 and so on and so forth.
It's doing the bit. But he's done some weird shit. But I've lost interest in it now.
Yeah, he's been gone too long now, really, without a win. He's not current anymore. But no, the whole UFC thing, like everyone talks about, have you again in the gym? We're not allowed to talk about UFC, and I'm like, I didn't even realise the UFC was on last night. But okay,
yeah. No spoilers. I watched the highlights this morning. I couldn't care less.
Yeah,
all the highlights that Dana puts up where they miss out the actual knockout, the actual finish. I can't understand that. But you've not been inspired then to go and start doing some MMA and start punching people in the face?
No, I did start doing the old Monday night MMA sessions, but when it sounds silly because I'm going to sound like a bit of a pussy now, but when Hussein started doing it and we were wrestling, I was coming out on a Monday night going, my neck hurts, my back hurts, and it wasn't like I've trained hard. It was I think I'm injured now.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't then do a Tuesday night because I was injured from the night before, and that was no good for me.
Yeah.
The striking and the rolling around was good, but having someone try and rip my neck off, which is what the wrestlers want to do, was not a bit of me, really.
It's weird, I think, like how some of the different sports, how they're sort of the ego is different between them.
Yeah.
I've found it between MMA, kickboxers, boxers, jiu-jitsu guys, there's a whole different field of people.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but, I don't know. You're not likely to be challenging someone to a jiu-jitsu match in the middle of the street, but there's always likely to be fists flying. I suppose that's somehow some reason why some people get into things like boxing and kickboxing, because they just want to fight.
It's a bit of self-defense style, and then being the aggressor. Yeah,
some people are just violent. But yeah, that's not a bit of me. I've always enjoyed. I was like raised on kung fu and did their MMA and kickboxing and all that jazz, and it was the same thing. Like I don't really want to get punched in the face no more.
No,
so. Hence, I think, again, I did a charity fight and I was like, you know what, I really enjoyed the grappling again, so I'm going to pick up jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So I picked that up again.
I think I did a bit of MMA at CSA before, a long time ago, just as I wonder how this will be.
Yep.
And I walked in, I went twice.
Yep.
I paid for 5 sessions, went twice, got beaten up both times. Not even eased in, it was... Yeah. You can go and spar with that big ball geezer in the ring there, and he's all kitted up, and I think, fucking hell, I haven't got anything. And they would give me an old pair of gloves, and I just got beaten up two nights on the trot, and I was like, no, sorry, not a bit of me. And I think now you get an elbow in jiu-jitsu, and you do, or you get a finger in the eye, or whatever, but everyone, as soon as it happens, they stop and go, you all right? Yeah, I'm good. All right, come back then. And then there's no animosity at all. It is a combat sport, but no one wants to hurt the other person properly. You want to choke them out and you want to get them in an armbar, but you don't want to actually hurt them. So it's a different feel to it.
Well, again, the thing with it's difficult because I know people from Combat Sports Academy, and I'm good friends. I wouldn't say good friends with them. I'm on talking terms with a few of them and have been for years. And some of them really, really great people. But I too have experienced the same thing. My first venture into Combat Sports Academy. Well, not first venture, actually. I'll retract that. My first venture into a sparring session at Combat Sports Academy was a real eye-opener.
Right.
Because they had people in there who were competitive at a decent level who did just want to kill me. And it was like, holy fuck, I'm used to sparring in Kung Fu where we go, smack, cool, recognise that you hit me, cool, we go again.
Yeah.
This was spinning kick, like back kick to the ribs, shit, I've just taken one in the liver, I can't stand up, bam, 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 oh, hold on, I've only been here 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Jesus
and that was
Christ.
pretty much my experience, yeah.
But, as I said before, once you're in...
Yeah. You get left
and you're friendly with them. They all start coaching you, teaching you, and you get friendly. And they're some of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I didn't give it long enough. I know, but
I don't know what that thing is about when you first visit there. And I'm sure it's not everybody and for everybody. No. But that was one of the experiences I have had there as well. Certain people.
I might have just turned up on the wrong night for the wrong class kind of thing.
Especially if you turned up for a sparring session.
Well, yeah, it wasn't a sparring, but I remember it was the end. The main session was fitness, and that was fine. It was the rolling at the end, and I just thought, like, I've had no training, I've had no coaching. You're making me spar, and I could have probably walked away at that point, but no one does that if you go into a combat sport, do you? You go and give it a go, and I just got abused, and I thought, well, and it wasn't by one person; it was by 3 or 4 people. So I knew I wasn't with a harsh person. It was just the general feel of it, and I thought I went back the second time. I thought, oh no, I'll give it another go because it might have just been unlucky, and then got it again. And I thought, oh, do you know what? Like, I can't go into work with a split lip and a black eye.
No,
it doesn't look good. So
no, I've been treated to the split lip, black eye treatment from Combat Sports Academy. But as I say, I will say, they are a cracking bunch of people.
Yeah.
Once you get to know them, and and again, they've proven themselves to be the good quality competitors and fighters who've fought at the highest level.
Well, yeah, we've had a few down the gym since I've been there, and we've trained with them, and they're absolutely fine. So yeah. That's how I might have just caught the wrong couple of sessions.
Probably just individuals that you happen to come across. But again, one of these individuals who give me one of the hardest times in my first ever sparring session, still on speaking terms with and good speaking terms with. He's a really cool person. But the first time, he literally walked to the cage going, I want to fight you, I want to fight you. And I was like, shit. I just see you doing jumping spinning kicks to this other guy and I'm about to get murdered. But he was actually probably one of the nicest guys in there once you sort of broke that barrier of, I'm not walking out the door, I'm not a quitter after 5 minutes. I'm I'm here and I'm going to train. And he's like, well, and he started coaching me into better use of the hips and for stuff for swinging punches and encouraging me to get up off the ground once I've been done in the liver and I can't breathe and just get up there. And he's a really good guy actually. So not a bad word to say about him. So you're not likely to go down that way of starting to compete in MMA anyway.
No, I don't think so. No,
keep the jiu-jitsu going.
Maybe miss that boat. Maybe if I was 18, I might be giving it a go. But
you took a medal home at the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, I got bronze. Yeah,
no, it's cool. Was your daughter happy with that?
Yeah, oh good. Yeah. Walked in with that. It was when they were actually around my mother-in-law's house. It was her birthday, so I was in trouble for competing on her birthday because we normally make a big fuss about birthdays and stuff in our family. So I sort of had to say to her, "I'm not going to be there, but I'll be there in the evening." So I walked in and I showed the medal, and she was like, "Well, at least it was worth it." Yeah. So, and Isla was over the moon that I'd brought something home and had done well, and she'd already watched all the videos because I'd sent them on. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
But this is what I say. Like, a lot of what I do is to show the kids that you can achieve things, but it takes the effort. You've got to train, you've got to show up, and you've got to perform on the day. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what it is that you do. There's a certain element of participation medal that I agree with, not participation trophies. People will disagree with me with this, but things like competing at jiu-jitsu, I think if you're 8 years old and you've been training your ass off and you go and perform in front of a crowd on a mat, no matter what, you should be recognised for that. You should bring
something home from that,
Again, a clear difference between this guy won, this guy came second, this guy came third.
Yeah.
Because you don't get the big shiny medal without
working hard. Yeah.
And taking the lesson of the loss home with you to improve.
Yes.
But say as a kid, going out, putting everything on the line in front of a bunch of people watching you, I think is like hugely daunting in the first place.
You don't want to devalue the goal, but also you want to value the hard work that the person that's lost has put in. So it is a fine line. But even if everyone the same medal doesn't work, so
even if say all the kids got a T-shirt, I competed at because they did,
and then you have the bronze, the gold, and the silver and the
just
gold.
Just a bit of recognition for putting it all on the line. I think just. As a kid, it's great to see that. But I didn't win today, but I went and I did my best. And as I said before, there's a lot of the type of kids I want to go and sort of talk to is at these events and go, I watched what you did. As much as you were struggling, you fought to the end and you did a really good fucking job. Like, what's your plan for coming back next time? Like, are you going to train more? Is there a specific thing you felt that you did really good today, but you need to work on, and all those kinds of things? Just like, try to amp them up, like
G them up a bit.
Make sure you next time. And next time we'll see you on the podium and have the same conversation with you with a medal round your neck. It's fucking hard work. But there's definitely been an element in recent years of like everyone gets a trophy. Well,
you're just devaluing the gold, aren't you? Unfortunately,
like was kids' sports days and stuff. Like, we're all winners.
Yeah, it's not competitive anymore. Yeah,
we're not all winners. Some of us are terrible. Some of us didn't try.
Yep.
Some of us are sports. Some of us are cheaters.
Yep.
But and you need to see that in the world because that will happen in work.
You need to compete for everything, don't you?
Yeah. Everything is that way. You don't get ahead in work without working hard.
No.
you bum off, you slum off, and you won't get recognition.
Well, and the same thing when you get to the real world and you go for a job interview. If you don't get the job interview, you're not going to get a secondary job somewhere at the same company. You don't get the job. That's it. So you need a bit of realisation that sometimes it is win or lose. It's not participation. Yeah,
you're fighting against the best for this job. Toilet cleaner, first job, bug brush boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you after the competition, then have you got things that you recognise you need to work on?
Oh, loads. Yeah, takedowns for one.
Takedowns.
Yeah, because the takedown plan worked for fight one, and fight one couldn't have gone any better. I did everything that I was told to do, kind of thing, and it worked. But I came up against someone who was not as strong as me physically. So as soon as I wanted to move him, he moved. Whereas when my second fight that I lost, when I tried to move him, he didn't move, and when he tried to move me, I didn't move. So we were sort of at a stalemate. And I was knackered. By the time we got to the floor, I was well done.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to do, mate. I should have had a sort of a plan B, but my plan that I had was let them pull guard. If they can't get me down, let them pull guard. And I think that might have been his plan as well, because he didn't move. So we were just going to stand there for 5 minutes. Unfortunately, we sort of ended up in a bit of a tussle, and we both fell over on top of each other, and it sort of ended up in a bit of a scramble, and no one was really in a decent position. So it just ended up a bit of a weird one. But but as for and then the third one, I did pull guard because all I had is cross collar, so I was pulled guard with him in cross collar, but I didn't really get a chance to work any actual takedown, and the only one that I have in my locker is sort of a bit of a judo-y style, pull them towards me, put my leg behind them and push them over the top of my leg, but with the guy that was as strong as me, I couldn't get him anywhere close enough to do it, so I then had nothing left in my locker to go with. So
funny that them stalemate things in those early competitions where you dead set in your mind. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this particular move because I've been working on this, and this is what I wanted to do. And then you realise none of it's happened, and 3 minutes have gone past, and you're still trying to do the same damn thing, and you're still both stood there just holding each other at a distance.
And it was 3 minutes of us swinging each other around, and neither of us would go down. And I was blowing, and I'd already had a fight. He hadn't, so he had a bit more in the tank than me, and I think that showed as soon as we hit the ground because I couldn't breathe, and he was still raring to go.
I had one like that in my last competition. I'd had 2 matches or something, and this geezer hadn't had any yet. I was like, how the fuck does this work?
Yeah, you're knackered, and
what's going on? But it's good. I enjoy the days out competing, and it was really good this time round to have so many people come and support as well, as the guys.
And for it to all been a lot of new guys as well, like not the guys that have been doing it for 10 years and take it almost a bit too seriously. It was quite nice. It was quite relaxed for our first one because I didn't know what to expect, and just people like Dan turning up. Like he's only been doing it like 3 months, and he was well into it, and now he's ready to go. He wants to go and get involved in August, so it was quite good to almost be a bit of inspiration for him because I've not been doing it very long. So
well, the only way to find out is to go and have a go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Any other things in life that you want to go and have a go at? Or is it like your next thing?
Don't really know. No, I haven't thought that far ahead.
Embrace jiu-jitsu and see what it gets to.
I think I've seen a lot of the world, but through my parents. Like we've gone on holiday and lots of different places. My dad was one of these that never wanted to go to the same place twice, so we've been to Turkey and Portugal and all sorts of different places, but I've not been able to do that because we had our daughter at 19. I've not had the chance to. So when she's a little bit older, now I think that would probably be my next thing of going out and seeing the world a little bit more. Once it doesn't cost £2,000 to drive the car to the airport, and 2, when she's a bit older, that she can stay at Nan's house and get herself to and from school and all that sort of stuff. So that's where I think that's probably my next thing. Just
enjoy parenting.
Have my 20s, but in my 30s, kind of thing.
So we like that. Obviously, my daughter will start secondary school this year. Things like loosen up that little bit. A bit more freedom. It's just like letting them kids out to play for the first time. Like last year was like, ooh.
Well, even different when I was younger. I used to play out on the road on my bike with all the neighbours' kids and everything all the time. But nowadays, I wouldn't dare let Ida do that.
It's weird. We were talking about it again the other day because, as with the internet and social media, we've always had access to all the drama. So as soon as there's a problem, everybody knows about
Yeah.
it, not just the local papers now. So you have this thing that, like, everybody's a criminal.
Yeah.
Everybody's a pedo. And everybody's a kidnapper. But in reality, it's still such a minute
It's still the same amount as it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You just hear about it more, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's possibly even less now because there's so many cameras. Everyone's getting
true.
caught left and right. But yeah, it's because it's all made public and everyone shares it and everyone talks about it and makes it worse than it actually is. But so it's just like it started with, like, I let the kids go play out the front and I'll sit on the stairs and I'll just watch them through the front window, like, they're still there. It's like, but at some point they've got to go.
Yeah,
out.
you've got to be out of your sight at some point.
And then I think my daughter has got a friend who lives in the same close, and she was out riding a bike, and the daughter's like, "Oh, can I go out on my bike?" And you're like, you can't really say.
There's not much of a reason to say no.
There's not really again, and we live in a nice, quiet, close cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere.
No.
She's not stupid either.
She's not going to go out onto Maidstone Road from
No,
there, is she? So.
it's like just stay here. Like, yeah, cool. Go around the block or whatever. Go up there. You know where we are. Blah 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 blah. Don't go far.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of at the same time we had to say the same thing for my son. He was a bit younger, but it was like, well,
Yeah, he's going to want to follow her.
Yeah. So now, a bunch of kids all play out around here. They're out on their bikes and skates and
Yeah, that's good, though.
whatever. But it's good that more people are sort of out and about now at that right age, and they can have some social interaction. Whereas, like, as you said, when we were kids, I'd have been out on my bike riding 5 miles up the road.
Oh, God, yeah, all the time.
In summer holidays,
We was
climbing around
constantly
the
out.
schools.
Come home for dinner and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but when the lights come on or when the sun goes down, you got to come in. Yeah, cool. And it might not have been at 11 years old. I don't know. You can't remember exactly when it was, but probably was out.
Yeah.
Like in the woods or whatever.
8 or 9 o'clock at night
old.
in August, yeah.
Chilling out with all your friends, like playing cops and robbers with sticks in the woods. But yeah, it's great to see them grow and show them all those things that you want to work on, and bringing them the medals and go, look what I did today.
Yeah.
Are you proud of me?
Yeah, it was good, actually. Especially after watching Dave go and win silver, and I was sort of like,
his face.
My pressure is on now. Those photos earlier are great.
That's funny.
Never seen him so happy.
I was just clipping through some of the videos. It was like, his excited face after weighing in, and his excited face when he's going to collect the medal. I was like, this is fucking brilliant.
No, he did. Yeah, I think the pressure was on for me then, because as horrible as it sounds, if he'd have lost his first fight, I'd have been like, well, I can match that. That's fine. But when
I can equally lose,
exactly that. When he got silver, I'm thinking I could go and lose my first fight here, and Dave's going back to the gym with a silver medal, and I'm going back to the gym with nothing other than a big old L. So
I've got gold medals for doing nothing. So
yeah. It was good. No, it was good to get on the mat, and that first fight go so well. And then after that, I wasn't worried about anything. Then I'd won one. I was definitely going to get at least another 2 fights, so I was quite happy with that.
No, I'm glad the sort of pressure thing got taken off. It's again what everybody else does is completely, totally, and utterly up to the match at the time.
Exactly. Yeah,
and I said to Dave, you actually got really lucky in that first fight. Oh no, the first fight was points. The second fight where he got the choke.
Yeah, because he managed to get that on. Yeah,
I said to him, like, that guy come on really confident, come on smiling, and he was all ready to go. And you come on looking like you already defeated.
Yeah,
and he was winning. He had the advantages, he had the positions, and he was controlled. And then you got it at the last minute, which is really cool. And well done. But it's that, like, now you're fighting for first place. Go on there, lift your head up, go.
Yeah.
You've got no reason to not be confident now.
Yeah. Although seeing the size of the guy who was fighting, I was a bit like, here we go.
But that's like what I get. This fucking muscular tanks of a geezer, just like, oh Jesus, what am I doing?
Well, Dave's called Big Dave because he's literally the biggest guy in the gym, and then this guy, he's looking up at this guy like this on the mat.
Proper full-on Viking.
4 inches taller than Dave and about 8 inches wider, and you're like, okay, right, this is gonna be interesting.
Well, again, it could go one of two ways. You know what it's like being muscular and trying to do jiu-jitsu. 100%. So, how long did it take you then to try and with jiu-jitsu and being strong and like trying to stop using your strength? How long?
I'm still trying now.
Still trying.
Even Thursday morning, Bruce is going, every time you bench press me, I'm going to take your arm. And I lost count of how many times he moved my arm and said, I'd have had it there, and I'd have had it here. There's more. Bruce is a good one because he will stop mid-fight and go, that was good.
Yeah.
Or he will stop and go, no, don't do that. I'm getting more of the goods now than I am of the bads, but I'm still getting the bads because the natural reaction when someone's on top of me is to push them off.
Yeah, no, I get
So
that.
it's difficult to get out of that, especially when that's where in my head that's where I'm thinking my strength is
Going to be helpful.
Yeah. I'm gonna use that rather because my technique's not going to be there. Certain things are half decent, but other than that, and there's very minuscule, minimal things that are good, but. My strength, I think, I'll use that, and then I put myself in such a bad situation because I've tried to do something the wrong way. But it's just listening to these guys say well done or not so well done are the only way I'm going to learn, I think. Drilling, for me, is great, but if it's got more than 2 or 3 steps in it at the moment, in a row, I never use it. I can't get the 2 or 3 steps together.
I appreciate that. But again, watching a lot of it, you will find it is the basic, simple, standard stuff that works. You know, unless you truly outmatching the other geezer and you're seeing all this wizardry that you can just pull off. Yeah, cool. But generally, it's like, nah, let's take some side control, let's take some mount, let's take that easy, or visible stuff. Yeah. I watch after the stuff with like demonstrating. It's like, there was how many steps in that? You lost
all
me.
the X guard stuff that just froze me straight away. I'm never going to be in that position because they're always bloody on top of me. So I don't see where I'm going to go from here. Kind of thing.
Gets there, though. We'll get there. There'll be these obscure positions you'll find yourself in.
I can use that now.
Yeah, but some of it will be a while, and some of it is definitely tricky to rack into your tiny little brain. Yeah. So how many spins did you do there? What part of the leg did you go under?
Every now and again you hear me go, "Where are you going?" Because they've just spun around me so many times, got no idea what's going on.
Where are you off to? Oh dear. Yeah, it's good fun, and so you both a good addition to the team. You bring like where everyone keeps that. The levels of humour up and stupidity, and you just sort of slide straight in. And luckily, most of the people who keep it up have done, and they can sort of do that. Yeah, which is, I think, why I'd say our team kind of works well. Is that we're all a bunch of arseholes, we're all a bunch of misfits, and everyone just has a laugh at everyone, and we all know that there's no like mean intentions behind anything that anyone says. It's just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. I know we give Whit a lot of grief and he gives us a lot of grief, but it's because he asks for it and we ask for it, and it sort of goes back and forth. And
Whit, he's non-stop.
You get all the police questions and stuff like that, so it's just that no one's safe.
Look, I had one down day, all right, and I just started.
Yes, you only got to say something wrong once.
I know. Now I'm not allowed to make jokes. No, I'm not allowed to. Be funny anymore.
Yeah, it's not jiu-jitsu related. So.
No, it's not jiu-jitsu related. Where's the jiu-jitsu chat police? Woo! I'm over here. Mate, it's that jiu-jitsu chat is something else. Yeah. But so you're going to go compete. Yep. Have you got a plan of things, anything new that you want to learn, just other than takedowns?
Not so much, because I thought I didn't get a chance in my second or third fight really to do anything else. But in the first one, I got side control, I got a back take, I got into mount, I did all of those a few times and I scored some decent points, and then I managed to take his back and get the sub. So I did quite well with the basic stuff in that thing. So for me, I think the next one is work on my takedowns and have a plan B. Yeah. I want to get in the lower weight class, one, to see that I can cut weight again, because obviously I haven't really dieted since end of September at all. I've just been eating what I want. And I think really just work on that, not lifting my leg up to get mount, sliding it across, and just the basics were better. Details,
tidying everything
be tight on your side control, all that sort of stuff. And then if I can pull off another couple of subs or something, that's great. That was good for me. I didn't win on points. I won by being better than the other person in and getting the position that I wanted, sort of thing.
That's it. You get that frustrating thing where you lose because you're not fit enough. Yeah. That's not nice. No. I've had that a few times.
Yeah, I think that is something I've got to work on, actually.
Yeah, that sucks because you're not fit enough. Like, it's like I know I'm better than this person, but I've got nothing left to give. Yeah. That sucks. And that's all on you, you know. The other thing is, say, when they do hold position for 2.5 minutes on top of you and you can't get out and they don't progress and nothing happens, it's just they're 1 point up or whatever and they just stay there. Cheers, mate. You really defeated me. That's defeating.
That's boring. Yeah.
You didn't beat me, did you? You just kind of...
You got a couple of points and stayed on top of it.
Got down points in jiu-jitsu, eh?
Yeah.
As you go to some of these sub-only
ones, yeah.
I'd like to get to a point where I could do one of the, like, you know, person versus person on a mat and everyone's watching thing.
Yeah.
I planned on doing a couple of those kind of things, but I can't stop being injured at the minute.
No.
It's so frustrating. Like, I wanted to compete at the IBJJF in July. You know, it's a bigger event. It's not, I wanted to go and do it for once at blue belt level. I wanted to have a go, but can't do that.
Like you were saying the other day, every time you knock your knee and you put yourself back again, it's never going to get better. So you need to do what you're doing and come to classes and watch what's going on, but not actually smash your knee on the ground every time. Cause
that's it.
Not really funny. Everything we do is knees on the floor, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not even smashing it now. It's just being in awkward positions. It doesn't even have to take any pressure. I mean, kneecap will slide off again, which is not fun.
No.
But I'm in for August.
Yeah,
I'm on that one.
Good.
I did realise that I was like, to BJJ 24/7, I was like, yo, how do I know if I got like the refund for pulling out or the credit or whatever? So, it'll blah, 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 it'll show, da, da, da. I was like, I think I've just realised actually I might have paid for this Brighton one with the credit from the last Brighton one because I was injured then as well. I was like, damn it. So,
So you've moved it on to August?
No, I already had August, I think,
okay.
so I've got to find another one to do to bring on some more competition. But yeah.
Like you say, you'll get yourself better first. So
heal this knee up and then get back on.
Nothing worse than your first roll in competition to smash it back up again and not be able to do the rest. So
I was almost convincing myself to just go and compete at the last one.
Yeah,
because I had no opponents in my weight category.
Right.
None in the weight above. Well, I say none in my category, none in the weight below, which is the weight I signed up for, but I didn't bother losing weight because I was injured. So I'll just change it to the upper category. There's no one there. Maybe they'll move me to a thing. Or I could go. I'll go and I'll take the gold.
Yeah, for nothing.
For the points for the team more than anything. The last one I did that and got a gold was unintentional. Just nobody bothered turning up, which was nice. But it's points for the team on like smooth comp or whatever, which is good. But it's shit getting a medal for not
doing
actually
nothing.
doing anything.
But you have trained.
That was a participation medal.
Yeah.
As a showing up medal.
Yeah, but at least you've trained for that. You've not
I did
just
train and I got there. Yeah,
you were ready to fight.
I was ready and I was willing, and then I was just pissed off for the rest of the day because nobody could be bothered to turn up after warming up and getting all amped up, and then just having to sit back down and chill out was no good. But yeah, I look forward to getting better and getting back on the mats properly and training again and helping educate other people and all that jazz, tying some more people up in knots.
You've got about 8 weeks now to get better for August, so
lose weight.
Yep.
That's the worst part. Just enjoy living it. But,
exactly that.
But yeah, well, in which case I look forward to getting back on the mats with you again and having some more training. I look forward to seeing you progress some more and going to pick up some more medals in the next competition.
Certainly give it a go.
We'll work on a few things, like I say, getting ready for Nogi as well.
Yeah.
Put some focus into that, which would be good. But anyway, I appreciate you coming along and having a chat with me.
No problem at all.
Talking about a few things, your goals and all that lot, and covering all that bodybuilding nonsense.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense to people that don't really do it.
No,
so
it's the same with anything, though.
Weird,
You know, people don't understand struggle cuddles.
No.
My wife doesn't, but she certainly likes to cheat when we have a go at it. Grab you by the testicles and twist the nipples. All those illegal.
That'll make you tap,
No. Oh, that was a weird sound. Anyway, but yeah, thanks for coming down. Thanks for sitting with me, and I'll see you again in the near future.
Yeah, definitely.
Whoop, whoop. Or hold on, what day is it?
It's Friday.
Tomorrow morning? I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Oh, and just quickly, your friend Adam, Adam Miller, he did say, does he miss training with his skinny mate?
There you go. Yes, I do. We actually texted today to say it's a bit of a shame that we don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But like I say, he's been injured and he's training for London Marathon, so he's doing a lot more running than I can handle.
Yeah, no,
I can run to the chicken shop and back pretty much. But so once he's back in the gym, properly, then yes, there'll be some. We'll get some.
Yeah.
Get some.
Getting down to jiu-jitsu. Once you're healthy, your marathon's done, Adam.
When I sent him the videos from the competition, actually, he texted me saying my joints hurt just watching you. So I think getting him into jiu-jitsu might be a bit of a struggle. But I think his back is worse than your knee, sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, I've got back, knees, shoulders. I'm falling apart. I'm like Mr. Potato Head right now. But yeah, so Adam, he does miss training with you. Come down and watch us all struggle cuddle with each other. once your marathon's done. But yeah, so there you go. That was the only question we managed to get. But the more frequently we do these, hopefully, the more people will reach and the more questions will come along. So
definitely,
as I said, thank you very much.
No problem.
Thanks for listening. Adios.
Bye.